Hi, I'm Steve Decker, Assistant Superintendent of Lacey Township Public Schools, and welcome to Spotlight on Education. Hi, welcome to Lacey Township Spotlight on Education. And today we have with us Pat DeGeorge, Lacey Township School District's Business Administrator. And I wanted to talk to you today, Pat, about some of the facilities projects that we've done during the summer. Can you just share with us some of the projects that we've taken on?
Sure, Steve. I was happy to do that. Before I do that, though, I wanted to, as way of background, provide you with the knowledge that we work with the architect of record for the district to create a list of projects. We go around, we evaluate all of the buildings, all of the grounds throughout the district, and we make a list of projects that are supposed to improve the health and the safety of all of our students and all of our staff.
So it would be like if I'm my own house,
yes,
I'd see that maybe the shingles on my roof are starting to deteriorate, and next year I probably should change them. So that kind of process.
That's a very good analogy. Yes, exactly right. Just like home projects, but on a much, much larger scale.
Sure.
So we take that list and we try to do the projects as often as we can. So in the past year or so, we've done a couple of projects, right? Most important, I believe, we've included security vestibules in each one of our schools. We've upgraded the surveillance devices that are in those schools. And as Dr. Clark, our superintendent, said in a previous message to the community, we've done a lot to enhance visitor management and the protocols that surround that. Now that's directly related, Steve, to the health and the safety of students. Two other projects, both of these at the Mill Pond School. First, we are replacing that old dilapidated gym floor and the bleachers with brand new state-of-the-art rubberized gym floor and brand new bleachers. Also at Mill Pond, we are replacing the old, outdated, inefficient boiler system with a very brand new, state-of-the-art, very efficient, high efficiency boiler system, which really directly speaks to the health and the safety of all the people at the Mill Pond School. Finally, this past year, we're just about to finish up a very exciting project at the high school. We're replacing the track around the football field, which has been in such a state of disrepair, very unsafe. We can hardly even have gym out there. Now we're just about to lay down a very new state-of-the-art rubberized track surface that we can not only have safe gym classes for our students, but we could probably have our awesome athletic director, Ms. Del Vento, can now with this new track surface, perhaps invite other schools and hold meets here that are very safe and a very welcoming environment. We're looking forward to that, and I'm sure she's going to do a great job. So those are the four projects that we've taken on in the past year, which I think are exciting, and we're very excited to work to try to do more projects in the couple of years to come.
Sure, and it is exciting because a lot of these projects center around the health and safety of students and staff. So that's just really important. But I know there's sometimes uncertainty about it's a lot of stuff that we've done, right? And you've done a great job. How do we pay for all this stuff? Where does all that come from?
Right, that's a great question. I'll tell you, before I tell you where it comes from, I'll tell you where it doesn't come from, which is almost more important. It doesn't come from asking the taxpayers of Lacey Township for more money through a referendum. We have found a way not to do that. So we've created a capital plan which works to strengthen and our balance sheet, our fund balance, and it's out of that fund balance that we take the money and we try to move it into a capital reserve account so that we can start to pay for these projects. And it's very important, Steve, to know that that money does not come from taxpayers. It does not have anything to do with the regular school year budget. It cannot, by law, be used to pay for staff, benefits and salaries. None of that.
So it's not connected to the general funds
in no
we
way,
use
shape, or form. We try to set the money aside in our capital accounts. We action it through the budget because that's our one mechanism to do this, and that's how we fund the projects. And you should know that we're going to try to do that because we have about $10 to $12 million more of very health and safety related capital projects in the pipeline that we're going to try desperately to fund in that same way.
So as you do this in year by year, it's really a benefit to the community in the sense that they're not going to be hit with a referendum or a big bill to say we have to do this gigantic project that we've ignored for so many years. I mean, because some districts have fallen into that trap.
Yes, they have. And in this town, we're very conscious in the district, very conscious of the fact that the bulk of our compensation, of our revenue in the budget comes from taxpayers already. So we do everything we can to minimize the impact on taxpayers for these types of things by avoiding the referendum, because it's just a very painful and we feel unnecessary mechanism to do that.
You do a great job with the financial management, and I think I'm new to the district, but I've been in other districts, and I've seen that we've made so much progress this summer with so many projects, and it's very exciting. And one exciting thing that we have too that we didn't really talk about that wasn't done during the summer was the lights at the football field, which is going to be a great thing for the Friday Night Lights football games. So that's going to be exciting.
A beautiful thing. And I know you're going to talk about this a little bit later in your program today, but I really would be remiss if I did not acknowledge the great work of our educational facilities manager, Mr. Sean McArthur. I hired Sean about 2 years ago, created the position and hired him, and I have to tell you, having him in that position in this district is a game changer for us. Sean not only manages the head custodians in all of the schools, the maintenance and the grounds crews, and he does a fantastic job doing just that. But he also acts as a project manager between me and all of the vendors who come to work on the track and work on the boilers so that we don't have to hire anybody else. And he does a phenomenal job, he really does. And almost more important than anything else, he does it with a positive attitude, and he really has won over the hearts and the minds of staff and students across the district. And to me, I think that's just awesome. So he's tremendous.
That is. Well,
and I need to say that.
You need to say it. And it's actually a great thing that you brought it up because in 1 minute we're going to be going out into the field with Mr. McArthur. But I want to thank you, Mr. DeGeorge, for coming, talking to me today, talking to the community, to giving us some insight to the great projects that are going on and some of the great things that you're doing. And now we're going to take a first-hand look at these projects with Mr. Sean McArthur, Lacey School District's facility manager. Okay, so here we are with Lacey School District's facility manager, Sean McArthur. How are you today, Sean?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
Great. So today we wanted to take a look at some of the facilities and the projects that happened over the summer. And we're going to start here at Mill Pond School with the vestibules, as they were done in every school, right?
Correct.
So talk to me a little bit about the vestibules. What did we do here?
So the vestibules kind of took on a life of its own. We had bank teller windows that were set up bullet resistant for the protection of the staff behind. We also had additional swipes, cameras, and some additional space set up over here with additional doors.
So these swipe doors here that we have in the facilities now, it's a double entry for safety.
Correct.
People can't get in unless they're buzzed in.
That's
right?
correct.
Great.
Yes,
and then they would come, like Dr. Clark said in the video that was sent out to the community earlier, they have to present an ID to get into the school, and they have a label with our new Raptor system, which is a new security protocol that we have. Right?
That's correct. Absolutely.
So we know who's in the building at all times, and it just improves security and safety for everyone.
Absolutely. It's for the protection of the entire staff in the district.
And some of the vestibules had new tiling put in, new doors, like you said, new entry doors, these windows, bullet-resistant windows, and the new buzzer systems, and cameras. Right? We
Correct.
did new cameras?
Yes, there were some additional cameras added to most of the security vestibules as well.
Which improves security overall.
Absolutely.
So we're really doing a good job there.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm so excited because right now, not only is this great, the vestibule projects, but we want to take a look at the gym project at Mill Pond.
Absolutely.
So let's head over there right now.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Let's
great.
go.
All right, so here we are in the Mill Pond gym. And Sean, this looks like a really big project.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a very big undertaking.
And so I'm looking at the floor. Now this would be, you've ripped up the old floor, and
Yes.
put in a new subfloor, and you could see it's all smoothed
Yes,
out.
so you can see some of the areas here. So this was kind of a thin set that had to be put in to kind of help with the leveling of the floor to prepare for the next step.
And what goes on top of this?
So now there'll be a synthetic floor, a new gym floor that will actually go over the top of this. And then after that, we'll go into the process of putting down the stenciling and preparing the gym for use.
So like the stenciling of the school logo and all that
Yes,
kind of stuff
all those items,
onto the
yes.
main synthetic floor.
Correct.
And then also what I've noticed in here, there's new paint. So that looks great. Everything's
Yes.
bright.
Yeah, so we took the opportunity with the floor being redone. It's an empty canvas for us with bleachers being removed and new bleachers coming in, that we took the opportunity to paint the walls and stuff.
And then the icing on the cake is going to be really new bleachers.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
And that's going to
absolutely.
match the paint. It's going to match the floors. This is going to look like a state-of-the-art facility.
Correct, it will be.
This
Absolutely.
is going to, it's a huge project.
Yes.
It looks great. And
Right.
when are we thinking about this is going to be complete?
Well, we're talking about sometime in the neighborhood of towards the end of October, November area.
Awesome, great.
Because there's some lead time on some projects.
So kids
but
are going to
we'll
use
get it
this for gym. We're going
Absolutely.
to use it for games. And it just looks really great.
done. Yeah, I'm very happy with this. It's come out extremely well.
Looks great. So listen, let's take a walk over to the new boiler now. All right?
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
No problem.
So here we are in the boiler room of Mill Pond School. This is a place where people really don't come, right? I'm not sure.
This is our facility staff mainly that comes back in these areas.
But this is the hub of what keeps everybody warm in the winter.
Correct. This is where we keep the building nice and warm and toasty in the winter. So our staff, our kids are all in a climate-controlled area to keep them warm.
Great. So what was the project, Sean? So we got rid of the old boilers that were outdated,
Yes.
inefficient.
Yes. So they passed their useful life. They're gone. Now we have new systems in the air codes, which are very good, top-notch boilers. But these are more high efficiency. These are going to be more energy-saving costs for us down the line.
Right. I mean, you could tell that this is like
Yeah,
state-of-the-art
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, definitely.
And I also noticed when we're in here, we did outfitting of all new piping in here.
Correct.
Like,
Some gas lines and new pipes and new pumps that were installed to come with the project to make sure it gets spread throughout the
and
building.
before you installed the boilers, you had to. This is new as well. This concrete base.
Yeah, these are all new concrete pads that were created to be able to put the boilers up on a plateau, as well as same thing for the pumps as well.
Right. This is a big job.
Big job.
Big job.
Big
But
job,
very
yeah.
important. So this is going to be up and running for when it's starting to get
Oh
a little
yeah,
chillier.
absolutely. So heating season is usually October 15th to April 15th.
Right.
So we will be ready for October 15th. More than likely a couple of weeks before that.
Okay, great. So listen, it looks great in here. We're almost ready to go.
Yep.
But let's take a walk over to the high school and look at some of the great projects over there.
Absolutely.
All right, come
Let's
on.
go.
Okay, Sean, so here we are looking at some of the stage resurfacing and refinishing. What goes into that?
So basically, they'll come in and do a rescreening and put another coat of polyurethane over the top to give the floor that pop, and it safely secures the wooden floor.
And it makes it's kind of got a grip to it too, so people aren't
Absolutely.
sliding around.
Yeah,
It looks great.
absolutely.
So this has been done in some of the schools, and we're going to continue to kind of...
Yeah, as we go through the process, each school will at some point get this type of coating and screening, even some sanding at some point.
Oh, great. Well, it
Okay.
looks great. So let's go take a walk down and see some of the bathroom renovations.
Sure,
All right,
absolutely.
great. Okay, Sean, so here we are in some renovated bathrooms down by the gym area, which I guess visitors would come in.
Absolutely.
For
So
events.
this is our main area where we get a lot of recreational events come in here. They use our gym, and these bathrooms are very accessible from there.
It looks great. I mean, they're freshly painted. You have new tile
Yeah.
on the floors, new sinks installed. I also noticed in the schools that all schools have had these installed.
Yeah,
These-
so the district has made an initiative to try to turn over to green certified chemicals, and that's what we're using. So we have new soap dispensers, we have new toilet paper dispensers, we have new types of different chemicals we're using within the schools to keep the cleanliness and sanitation where it needs to be.
Great, and these are all new as well.
Brand new partitions, brand new tile floor, brand new cove base that you see on the edges, as you stated before, the brand new sinks,
Right.
as well as the urinals and toilets. We
It looks
changed-
great.
We did a full renovation, gutting and renovation.
Great, looks great. So the plan, what's the plan? To do this going into the school and renovating all the bathrooms?
Yes, so this is kind of the start of all those types of projects and to continue as we go. So The next projects that are on hand will be right down the hallway from here,
Great.
2 additional men's and women's bathrooms.
Great, and this is like the prototype, so this is going to be
Correct.
what so it all
Absolutely.
worked out. It looks great. It's going to
Yep.
be going through the school. So right now I'm really excited because we're going to finish this tour by taking a look at the track.
Absolutely.
So let's go outside and take a
Yeah,
look at the
sounds
track.
good.
All
Let's
right.
go.
Okay, Sean, so here we are outside at the football field and the track facility. And before we get to the track, I noticed that the landscaping looks really great.
Yeah, this is something that the district takes, very seriously about keeping these things up and looking very well. So a lot of trimming, a lot of mulch, a lot of stone. We try to upkeep that stuff. We try to make the place look as nice as
So
possible.
during the summer, the ground crew goes to all the schools and just maintains the outer facility.
Yeah, the same process. Anything curb lines need to be cleaned up, stuff of that nature. Absolutely.
Okay, great. I'm just really want to get to the track.
Sure.
So, what was the process of the track? You had to rip up first of all, it was a safety hazard, as Mr. DeGeorge was talking about.
Correct.
People could trip. It was getting chewed up.
So the track is definitely way past its useful life, where it needed to be removed for safety conditions. Absolutely. So what we had done here is that the asphalt was absolutely ripped up. Then we went through the process where a milling process has to happen.
What does that mean? What is a
So milling is kind of ripping up the asphalt to kind of make the surface level.
Okay.
And then afterwards is what you see this finished result here, because we're in the process of completing the
So
track.
the old track was torn up, then the mill digs everything up,
Correct.
smooth it out, and then what is this currently on here
So
right
this
now?
is just strictly asphalt. So it's going through the curing process at this point. Within the next couple of weeks, this will be ready, prepped and ready to go to put the actual synthetic surface down on top of it.
So there's another surface on top of this. That's that
Absolutely.
kind of cushiony, soft.
Yes,
soft surface.
Absolutely, it'll be a nice rubber surface. It's actually a little easier on the athletes.
Right, and then they're going to
athletes.
paint the lines on it.
Striping, everything will be done on top of that as
So
well.
this was a big project.
Absolutely, 100%.
And this is
There was a
gonna
new inner curbing that was put inside that
Right.
you can currently see from here. And then all of this stuff from there, the curbing went in, then we started the process with the rest of it.
I mean, it looks great now. It's going to look great when it's
Yes,
completed.
absolutely.
And I also just wanted to mention the lights that we
Yes.
have installed for Friday Night Football,
Yeah, brand
which is
new,
going to be great.
Brand new LED lights was part of a donation for the school. The lights are fantastic.
Great.
It's going to be a wonderful thing for the first
Awesome.
nighttime game in Lacey's football history.
Great.
So.
So listen, I want to thank you for giving us a tour of all these
Absolutely.
great projects that happened over the summer. They all look wonderful. The residents are going to be surprised and happy that the
Sure.
schools are being maintained. Because we focused on a couple things today with Mr. DeGeorge and yourself. Safety and security, right?
Absolutely.
Maintaining the buildings so that there's a longevity involved.
Absolutely.
And just keeping everything in a great working order for kids.
Absolutely. I mean, that's part of the long-range plan for us to continue to keep these things, and as things start to need attention, we're going to give it to it.
Great.
And I just would be remiss not to say that without the funding to be able to do this, without Mr. DeGeorge allowing me to do my job as most effectively as I can, this wouldn't be possible for us to do these
Great.
things.
Well, all of these projects looks great. And I want to thank everybody for joining us on this Lacey Township School District Spotlight on Education. I look forward to seeing you again on our next program, where we're going to continue to show the wonderful things that are going on in the Lacey Township schools.